Hello everyone, Silent here and welcome back to another Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a new and improved advanced Trident killer for your Bedrock Edition worlds. These advanced Trident killers are extremely useful for all kinds of large scale mob farms that you might have in your world. These advanced Trident killers automatically kill and apply the looting effect to all of the mobs in the kill chamber, and then it delivers all of the experience and drops from those mobs directly to you, the player. So you can have multiple of these Trident killers pretty far away from you, and all of the mobs that they kill will have all of the experience and drops delivered directly to you, which is honestly pretty awesome and useful in a variety of different situations. So the reason why I'm making a new tutorial on these advanced Trident killers is because Bedrock Edition just released a couple of updates which has changed Trident killer mechanics and basically broken all of the old designs. So we need to go back through, redesign them, and basically make new Trident killers. So I just released a tutorial a couple days ago on a basic Trident killer that you can use on pretty much whatever mob farm that you like, and now I'm making this advanced Trident killer, of course, for the large scale mob farms where you might want to have multiple Trident killers that deliver all the experience and drops to you. So hopefully you do enjoy these Trident killers, and let's hop into it. So here is the advanced Trident killer that I'll be showing you how to build in today's video. As you can see, it's grinding up all the mobs super quickly and efficiently and putting all their drops in a water stream, which you can then send into your storage system of choice. And it's also grabbing all the experience from the mobs, and then it can deliver that directly to a player at the AFK spot for your specific mob farm. I do want to mention that the command blocks are simply to summon the mobs for demonstration purposes, so keep that in mind. And also, this advanced Trident killer is an upgrade of the previous Trident killer that I just put out on the channel a couple of days ago. One thing I want to get out of the way at the start of this video is that this advanced Trident killer can handle pretty much any type of mob. So if we go ahead and summon in some guardians, you can see that there is absolutely no issue at all with grinding those guys up and just blending them into their respective parts. And it also works just fine with baby zombies as well. Those guys will never escape. And also, this is not made for cave spiders. Cave spiders will escape through that slab right there, so don't use this for cave spiders. Also, if you're using this in a farm where you have actual, like, real proper spiders, then you will need to switch out the droppers with a piece of redstone dust just to slow down the system a little bit. And you'll also need to put an extra layer of blocks around the edges because spiders really love to glitch out and literally fly off like 40 blocks. So just put an extra layer of blocks around it, no big deal, and then it'll be perfectly fine for spiders. But other than that, these things work perfectly fine for pretty much every other type of mob in the game. If you haven't seen my previous Trident killer tutorial on the design right behind me, I would recommend that you do go ahead and check that out as I go over all the basics of how Trident killers work, how the mechanics work with multiple players in a world, and how looting applies to the mobs as well. So if you know nothing about Trident killers, definitely check out the tutorial in the upper right. So let's briefly go over how this advanced Trident killer works so you can understand why I designed it the way that I did. So if we go ahead and break in here, of course we have the drop chute coming from your mob farm, which delivers all the mobs into your Trident killer, and then we have a system of pistons around the center, which keep all the Tridents centered in the area so that they don't lodge into the wall and break. That is one of the biggest challenges in the newer updates because mobs actually push around Tridents when they get hit by them, which breaks all of the previous designs. The speed of our Trident killer is also another thing that actually causes some issues for us. This is a very fast Trident killer, about the fastest that you can get with the 4 different pistons being activated. So we have a blue ice floor and a water stream to push out all of the experience orbs underneath that little slab right there and push them into your water stream. Now, the items actually have different item physics, so because our system is so quick, the items barely ever actually escape underneath that slab. So instead, we have a hopper minecart out the backside with a dropper that shoots all the items into your water stream. So you guys know me, I am very thorough and dedicated when it comes to the designing and testing of my contraptions. This thing right here took quite a few hours of painstaking testing of block variations and block combinations just to get it perfect. So of course I kind of grabbed this design right here, which already took me a couple hours to put together, but that turned out very nicely. I grabbed that, plopped it over here, and needed to figure out how to extract the experience and drop drops from it. Now, the baby zombies is a pretty big issue because they love to glitch out of basically everything, but with this design right here, there's no real way for that to happen unless they straight up just phase through a block. So I tried all of these different blocks right here in various different combinations, probably about 40 different combinations in total, and then finally came up with this thing right here. So rest assured, it's about the best that I can come up with for the current updates and current mechanics and the current challenges that go into Trident killers. Ultimately, using a slab keeps all these zombies in there and allows you to extract the experience pretty well, as long as you have an ice floor, and that works really well with the fast clock as well. I did have to compromise using a hopper minecart to collect the items, so that's not super ideal. With the current mechanics in the game, there's not a ton of different ways to design these things. Most Trident killers in general look pretty similar to one another. You're pushing around Tridents, there's not a million different ways to design a Trident killer. Alright, so let's hop into the tutorial, shall we? If you're interested, there's going to be a full materials list for this build down in the description of the video for your convenience. We're also going to need a 4 wide by 4 deep area, and this is going to be a minimum of 4 blocks tall. Now, most of this area is going to be taken up with solid blocks of your choice, just to prevent mobs from glitching out if they ever could, and also to keep experience and items from glitching out as well. So this is going to be the front of our Trident killer right here in this area, and I already installed a little bit of an ice stream for our water and for our experience and drops to go down. So make sure you got all this planned out and we can start building. So the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and install our dropper for dispensing our items right there. You want a hopper behind it facing into that dropper, and then go ahead and fill in some solid blocks to the side. We want 4 blue ice above this. I would recommend blue ice, but you can probably use packed ice as well if you want. There's likely no real difference, but I tested everything with blue ice, so that's what I'm going to recommend. You also want to go ahead and fill in this entire little ring with solid blocks going all the way around, just to contain all of those items and experience. Go ahead and grab yourself your pistons. You want 1 piston right there, another one right there, 1 more right there, and the final one in that spot. Again, go ahead and surround all of these with solid blocks. So from here on, we want a upper slab right there and a stair in this back corner that is going to be holding our water source to push all the items out underneath that slab right there. We now want to go ahead and get in the hopper minecart, and that needs to go right inside of that blue ice block. So grab yourself 3 pieces of rail, remove those 2 and replace them with solid blocks. Place back your hopper minecart and then remove that piece of rail. Then what you want to do is just kind of push that thing all the way in there and then simply fill in those 2 solid blocks. If we throw an item into that corner, you'll see it gets picked up and it is now inside of that dropper. And now we just need to install the redstone for our system. This is pretty straightforward. You want a solid block above each of your pistons right there, a dropper in each of the corners, and then simply an observer facing each one of those droppers. And as soon as you install the final one of these, it's going to start a clock, and as you can see, that is working pretty well. The off switch can be on pretty much any one of these droppers. However, I'd suggest just putting it right there. Just a couple of final things that we need to do now. We need to place a water bucket into that stair right there. That's going to waterlog it and push all of your experience out underneath that slab. You can now go ahead and throw in several tridents just pretty much anywhere into this 2x2 of blue ice. And then as soon as you turn that on, they'll all be centered in the middle and it'll be perfectly fine and ready to kill all of the mobs. So now what we can do is simply build up some edges around this thing. I'm going to be building it out of glass because I think it looks nice, and this will go up to whatever mob farm you are getting your mobs from. We also need to install 1 more observer right here. It's going to be facing this piston, and that is going to be powering our dropper to shoot out all items into the water stream. So when it comes to your water stream, all you need to do is place a water bucket in front of that dropper, and then you need to build up your glass walls a little bit to prevent items from getting launched onto the edges and have loss from your dropper. And then for repeating sections of your water stream, all you need is like literally an upper slab right there, and then just continue that on with a water bucket. Obviously build up the walls and stuff and put packed ice underneath the floor, but that is pretty much all there is for the water streams. Again, your water streams will be going into whatever storage system you like, and it will also be directing all of the experience to the AFK player at your mob farm as well. So that's pretty much all up to you guys, as that's going to be very circumstantial depending on what farm you have set up. And that's about it for this Bedrock Edition tutorial. I hope you have all enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, then of course let me know if a comment down below, as I'm always trying to help you guys out as best as I possibly can. Also, if you did enjoy this tutorial, consider leaving a like on it, as it helps out the video and the channel significantly. If you are new here and you want to see more tutorials like this in the future, then consider subscribing as well. And otherwise, I will see you guys down in the comment section and in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And then there was silence.